Now let me. If anybody's in here. If anybody's in here. Oh. Chipper. Savage Survival. Close, Savage, but Chipper beat you by like half a second on my screen. That makes Just Aid the Sheriff. Y'all better be careful. Bronze and the silver, and Chipper sneaking in for the gold up there. Hey, PR and Just Aid and Savage and JC and Mrs. West. Do I know you? And, oh, you don't know me? Okay. And Carter and stuff. That's everybody so far. And my little lurkers over there. Doing a scientific experiment. Y'all have to bear with me on this. Hey, C103. Hey again. I missed Eliza to go. Mr. Miller. Yeah, I typed in that Miller pun a while ago and then remembered that I actually had a Miller-O-Matic 250, I believe. Miller-O-Matic 250. It was a wire welder. Maybe Miller-Matic. Miller-Matic 250. Miller-Matic 250 wire welder. Yep. I actually considered getting another welder and just seeing if I could pick up some side stuff or whatever, because yeah, I wouldn't want to do it every day or all day anymore, but I think I could still, put this way, I can make $1,200 in 2 days with a welder. Easy. I just can't do it every day. Just, oh wow, yeah. Just Aid the Sheriff. I made Just Aid the Sheriff, right? Yep. He's the Nottingham Sheriff. I want another. If I get a welder, I'm gonna get either one of the little Hobart 250s or another Miller Bobcat. PR, thank you, sir. I don't have a gong or anything. Oh, wait a minute. I got this. I got to turn the camera on for this though. This is what I did last time. Where's my camera? Come on, camera. Hello, camera type thing. The broad bandwidth thing is like really aggravating. this day. Oh wait, hot, because that's not. Hold on, my bad. Let me get it up here. Da-da-da. I can see me. There you go. I thought it's pretty cool, actually. Thank you, sir. I go a long way. That's like, they just paid for a fishing trip. Seriously, that like paid for a fishing trip. Now I can go do a kitchen cook thing or whatever. And I can turn this back off because I didn't fix my hair. You guys see me in my work clothes and stuff? Oh, it was cold outside. Now I want a Miller Bobcat. That's what I had. I mean, I actually started my welding company with a 1970s model Miller roughneck, and had a friend who was a superintendent, and he threw me all the structural stuff he could get, or anything that my welder would handle or whatever. And I got enough invoices in or out. I was able to go to the bank and buy me a new. I was looking at an SA200, but they wanted 10 grand. And the welding supply guy said, well, this machine will do everything that the SA200 will do, and I can get you in it for 3,200. I was like, I'll take that one. So, I ran that Bobcat every day for 2.5 years, and it never gave me a lick of trouble. I was thinking about moving up to a 300 diesel, but then the oil field cratered. And they got one up from the Bobcat. It's they used to have the Legend, which was a totally awesome machine, and they quit making the Legend. I don't know why. The Legend, you could weld and run your electrical devices at the same time. It was basically a Bobcat on steroids. And I actually think it welded better than the Bobcat. And you didn't have to, wait. You could weld this joint and then go down, and while you're working on the next joint, your helper could be prepping that one, and you could go back. I mean, you could, there was no broomstick time really, or not as much of it anyway. Hey, Revolt the Man. See, I was gonna get a passport for my Bobcat, but like I say, everything went south or whatever. I'm trying to catch. Did you put in the comments what you run on a daily basis, or? Oh, okay. I didn't play with. I've got a little one that belongs to my son's father-in-law out on the porch. I've been playing with some, but it's got a annoying little habit of, it's got some kind of interrupter on it, or where you'd be welding along. It'll let you run a bead for about 20 seconds and then it clicks out. I don't know what it is. But they made I don't know what, it wasn't called a passport, but it was a suitcase. And you open it up and the wire was in it. And anyway, you plug it into your Bobcat. There was actually a place to plug it into your Bobcat. You plug it in your Bobcat and the controllers and stuff, and then boom, your Bobcat became a wire welder. I mean, it only held what were they? Like the little 5-pound rolls or whatever. But, you know, that's enough welding talk, I guess, really. I mean, these other people out here are probably going, oh, what they're talking about over there. But I've run SA200s, I've run old Hobarts, I run a couple of short hoods with the vacuum exciter on them or whatever, and I think those are the best welding machines out there, bar none. You had to, it took some skill to get your arc started or whatever, but then they just ran smooth. I actually traded my way into a SA200, and then somebody alleviated it from me. I left it sitting on a pallet just a little bit too long. Yeah, I like old school machines. They made a P, was it a PM or PL? PM or PL or whatever, which Hobart bought out. Yeah, which is weird because those welders looked almost exactly like the old Millers, the old Miller 300s or whatever. I almost bought one of those once. The old school Lincolns are really. They came out with one called a Diesel 300. No, Diesel something anyway. Same size as SA200, but it was supposed to be a classic or whatever. Man, I hated that machine. It's a piece of crap. The fuel lasted longer in it. I mean, you could run forever on the fuel, but and it welded okay, I guess. I just didn't like the way the arc looked. Yeah, Hobart and Miller are together now. You can't, other than the paint, you can't tell the difference between the Hobart machines and the Miller machines. I mean, the parts even interchange. Just for whatever reason, Hobarts are a few $100s cheaper. I don't think anybody else out there makes a wire welder, MIG welder that is worth buying, honestly. Now I've ran a bunch of them, and I can't stand anything but Miller wire welders. Yeah, the little Hobarts are worth it. If I had one of those, I'd work it to death. And see, that's the beauty of the big Miller 300 diesel or whatever. It'll supply your electricity at an idle. You know, your 110 and stuff, unless you're pulling a crap ton, you know. The Millers, Bobcats and stuff like that, they'll do it, but they idle up for your 110. He brought it back up again. But the portable welders really are an option, you know, as long as you stay away from the SA200, because the SA200 is a welder, and that's it. I mean, you can't do anything else with the SA200, the Lincoln SA200. But if you're looking for something, a welder generator, that's Miller and Hobart make welder generators. Lincoln makes one, but it's red. Might as well get one of those Honda ones that's purple. Jeez. Which is actually a pretty good machine too. Ooh, one of those might be me. So I feel odd liking my own video. I've got the window open. So one of the people watching is actually me. So stop yelling at me, LS. Yeah, the Lincoln boxes are good. I'm not going to disrespect them any at all. Is it the one where you have to, does it have the crank arm on it, or does it have the lead pulls? Fine, I'll do it. There, I did it. Is it the one where you could crank it? You know, you had the rheostat that you could crank up, and the little line went up and down or around and around. Or is it the kind where you could pull, and it was all you had was 10 amp increments or whatever? Man, I've welded with a bunch of machines. We had one of the old Lincoln box welders that to change the amperage, you had to pull the lead out and stick it in another spot or whatever. It was actually scary. Nobody else would use it or whatever. But we did hard servicing there with a stick, and I was the guy that did that because I was the only guy that knew how to run the freaking metal. But that old Lincoln put it on better than anything else. It was amazing what it could do. It just put it on there like spreading peanut butter. There's no work. I mean, it was like running jet rod with that machine. Yeah, I see that. We have one of those at Rafter A. And then SWS, we had the one with you had to pull the deal. It was ancient. It was a freaking dinosaur. It actually came with the building. We didn't actually own the machine. I just used it because it was there. Yeah, that hard facing killed my brother. Scared to death it's gonna sneak up and get me. I keep going and getting checked. But he did a whole lot more of that hard facing than I did. The fumes from the hard facing have one of the rare earth metals in it or whatever. And if you get enough of it in your body, you will get kidney cancer. It's just the way it is. Or let me rephrase that. After you get it in your body, eventually you're going to get kidney cancer. It's just a matter of whether or not something else kills you before the kidney cancer shows up. But hard facing is one of the cheapest paid positions out there. because they get a lot of freshly citizenized welders to do it, or they get it done in south of the border and brought over on trucks. That's I was really hoping to go over and look. And Jerry's dad's gonna have that kind of stuff over there. I hope, or the stuff to make one anyway. No, L. I did not see barbecue potato chips, boiled potato or canned potatoes, and wife wants to be a blacksmith. I learned something new about this woman all the time. Did you know her favorite potato chips? Barbecue potato chips. Her favorite potato chip ever.
I hate barbecue potato chips. The reason I wanted to learn blacksmith stuff because that's what my dad did.
Yeah, but you know, like knowing and paying attention and like actually retaining the knowledge or whatever is two totally different things. Yeah, everything's acting. The internet's whacked up. I think it grand solar minimum flare, aurora borealis, Illuminati, Nephilim peoples, and Anukis. Forgot about the Anukis. They're all doing it. It's all their fault. In theory, the vinegar is supposed to clean you out, but if you take too much of the vinegar, it'll kill you. Yeah,
Where you were talking about the truck?
where we were, the one where you and me were talking on the back of the truck and stuff. Yeah, I put it up the same week I got back. I hope I didn't forget to make it public. That's going to be so embarrassing. Hold on, I have to check now. And on my scientific experiment, the answer is yes. As soon, doesn't matter what, when I go live, there it is. Oh, so annoying. But anyhow, let me not worry about that, and we'll do this one. We'll go do this one. In case you're all wondering, I'm checking on what the revolting man asked me because it matters. Excuse me. That's not what I want to do.
At the table. Yeah, you put that one up too, didn't you?
Yeah, I put the one up with us at the table and stuff. Pretty sure. I've got so many live streams on here, I can't find anything I ever did post. No. I'm like way past where it should be. Let me see. The Arkansas trip. A review of Old Hickory knives. Man, they better not have pulled it down. Do I?
He said he found it.
Oh, okay. because I'm not finding it. I found here's us on the back of the pickup. Oh, there it is. Need to figure out how to like get it back out in front of people though. It's hung up on 318 views.
Called Two Men with Magnificent Beards Talking Over Tea.
Yeah, 2 men with magnificent beers talking over tea. That's I need to go in and change the tags and stuff, I guess. It was a really good interview, and you did super good on it. Are you leaving us, Mr. Punk? All right, brother. Have a good night, and thanks for the cash. It will not go to waste. All right, Savage, kiss the baby. Oh, I got a picture of little Matt. He didn't tell me I could show y'all, so I can't show y'all, but I can sit here and look at it while I'm talking to y'all. Really think he probably farmed this baby out because this baby's way cuter than he is. He got his daddy's hat on though. All right, Shabo. Thanks for coming by, bud.
And fishing with Southeast with Jackson.
Hello, fishing and stuff. And somebody tried to give me a little puppy, which just happens to be the kind of little puppy that I freaking adore, but I'm not getting another puppy right now. It's a little Jack Russell beastie, and it kept crawling up on me and looking me in the face, and I was like, "Davey, all these people are mean to me like that." He was around earlier today. Yeah, it's supposed to get cold everywhere, Carol. In Texas, anyway. Oh. Hey, Sweet Pea, I'll pay you real money to go see what your dog's barking at. Yeah, like not having hair all over your furniture and stuff. Those problems. Because trust me, golden retriever will coat your house in this beautiful golden fur. Yeah, we got to remember we all have ups and downs. Got to make sure we try to have each other's backs and stuff, because you never know when something's going to pop up and cause you to have grief.
please check and see why your dog keeps barking. Or is it just spoiled? Your dog. Yeah.
Well, my chat is like super. I have it muted or whatever, but it shows me lagging behind like 5 or 10 minutes on the video part. They're in there playing Xbox though, so they're probably hating me for eating up bandwidth. And see, why drink the apple cider vinegar when you can just drink hard apple cider, which is exactly the same thing?
What?
Not that dog.
The other one?
The one that's barking.
I'm not going out there.
Huh?
What if it's big and scary and wants to eat me?
Okay, y'all chat. Who is? All right. Revolting, have a good night. Night, Miss Mariah. Hey, eat one of them African melon things and tell me what it tastes like. Unless it's like Persianish or something, then don't eat it. Do a video and show us what the fruit looks like and stuff. Unless you already did. And I missed it and stuff. If you can come up with the name, there's several people who would really like to know what it's called.
It's just them two picking on the goats. Or on the goat. Go.
So they're barking at Mama Goat.
Yes. I barked at Sadie, jumped on Sadie, and then they both ran and attacked Mama Goat, jumping on her, trying to play.
So that's why he was barking. He wanted in the house. That's what he does. When you're not here, I
They
ignore
were
him.
out there picking on the goat, though.
Yeah, but
So it's fine.
whenever he does it and she's not here, I just go out there and discharge the firearm close to him. He hates that.
Good night, Russ. Thank you. We'll do a video on it. Good idea.
Okay, excellent. Good night. And those two dogs right there, I don't give puppy.
Oh, we'll try. I don't know what exactly we're coming for.
Man, I ate too much of that salsa. Oh. Daughter cooked dinner tonight and it was like delicious. Just FYI for all you people that didn't get to eat any of it. Was it green enchilada casserole? And then she homemade salsa. I don't know what she put in, but that was flipping good. I mean, it stomped the snot out of Pace or La Roca or any of them. Yeah, it was good.
Well, there's one right there. I don't know where to get it.
Okay. Don't open the door.
How would the dogs come in?
Oh. Oh, my phone making noise. See what's going on. I've been watching a little bit of this one guy, the black conservative something or other. Maybe black conservative Republican, something like that. Anyway, he's some of his stuff he's like on point with. Some of his he'll throw it off. I've been watching a lot of PragerU's videos though. Oh. You want me to turn the camera? I can turn the camera on. It just never occurred to me to turn the camera on. It slows down the camera takes a lot more broadband than just my voice, but I didn't want it to start lagging on y'all and doing that. What do you call it? Buffering, the ring of death or whatever. Plus, I was sitting here all chillaxed and stuff. Notice how I'm just like leaning back in the chair. Was just talking, being me. I was looking all over for them safety class. They've been up there a while, haven't they? That's pretty bad. Yeah, prep pig does better. I'm actually practicing prepping right now. I used to, every time I'd get stung, I would just automatically take the Benadryl from fear. But the last several times I've been stung by a wasp or a bee or scorpion or whatever, I wait to see how much it's going to affect me. And if my body's able to tolerate the level of toxicity that I receive from said sting, I do not take the Benadryl. Because I need to be able to survive a sting without antihistamines. I got a really good sting on my hand. And she hit me hard enough to, like, there was venom. Is it venom? Is it venom if it's this thing? Yeah. Actually squeezing back out the stab wound. So I let it do that. May have pressed a little bit of it out, hopefully. But then I didn't let myself take the Benadryl. I can feel it, but it's not killing me. So trust me, within 20 minutes of this thing, I know if I have to take something. Now, bumblebees, I don't play around. Bumblebee stings me, I get to the medicine. And I mean, now. During bumblebee season, I usually have 2 Benadryl in my pocket. And if one of them hits me, I put both of them in my mouth and chew. I used to keep the liquid Benadryl and get stung, do a shot. Because I'm like seriously close to not being here anymore the first time a bumblebee got me. Right now, it just feels like I've got walking pneumonia or something, and my chest hurts, but I can still breathe. It's just uncomfortable. I don't know what I'm ever going to do if I mess up and stick my head in a nest or something and get hit 4 or 5 times. I guess I just have to, I got 20 minutes to dig a hole. Guess I could do that. And see, that's why that honeybee hive is still in my attic, because my allergic buddy got to go up there and get them out. I need to do a follow-up video, and I was up there looking at them the other day, and it's cold enough. I might go up there and do one tomorrow. I can actually go up there and get right by the hive and not have to worry about it, because when it's cold, they don't move around or nothing. They just hang out. And I'll do a video of the hive. It's half again as big as it was when I did a video on it 6 months ago. That thing is it's flipping huge. I don't know if I'll get close enough to put a tape measure on it, because just because they're trying to keep the queen warm and the babies warm doesn't mean that they can't fly when they're cold. Misconception: bees can't fly when they're cold. Oh, really? All right, JC, have a good night. If you got any buy one get one free coupons or whatever for one of them Millers, you can send one my way. I'll order 2 of them. I'll send you the bill. I thought it was funny. What a miss! Oh, wow. Yeah. What's the first thing you do when you find out your dog's been bitten by a snake? A rattlesnake? Don't say shoot it. I know what you're going to say. I'll be right back. Shoot your dog for snake bite. Hold on, I gotta go get the chips. Oh. This commercial is brought to you by Sweet Pea's Salsa Factory.
Grouchy dude and Sasquatch.
Hey, Grouchy Dude, Sasquatch, what's up? What's happening?
Noah said feed it a raw egg. I don't know, but it's a thing. You asked about.
Oh, yeah. Benadryl. Give him Benadryl. Most of the problem a dog has with the rattlesnake bite is an allergic reaction. The Benadryl treats the part of the effect the rattlesnake has on the dog. It treats the symptoms, the breathing and stuff like that. It helps them, and it'll help the dog stay alive while it fights off the venom. That's from the vet. That's not from me. My vet's cool. If he can keep your dog alive over the phone, he'll do that. He can make a whole lot more money if he was a different kind of vet, but he thinks calling a dog a fur baby is a really silly thing. I love this vet. I'm not even playing. It's like the best salsa ever. Can we smell it? No. Can you smell it? It's really good. It's got like cilantro. What kind of peppers did you put in there? It's got little tiny seeds. Did you put the peas in there? It's like just the right amount of cilantro and stuff. Sorry, West Wind. This is pretty good stuff. I didn't mean to. I forgot I had the camera on. I was looking at the thing. It's still running like 10 minutes behind. Oh, it's on pause. Ah, that's funny. Let me hit play on that and click live and see what it does. And see if I'll be able to see that y'all can see what I'm doing. I forgot the camera was on. Sorry. Didn't mean for y'all to watch me eat this. That's just wrong. Oops.
Opie got to chasing that intruder or whatever.
An intruder?
Now that would be enough to scare the snot
Yeah.
out of me. See Opie coming?
Opie was looking at me, wagging his tail, and I was scared of the dog. Oh, hey, she put some hot peppers in there. I got a big mouthful of pepper that time. I usually wouldn't never do this, guys, but I am not lying. This is the best hot sauce I've ever had in my life. I'm flat stuffed, but it just seems wrong to just eat it with a spoon. I was doing that a while ago before the live stream started. Most of the stuff in this salsa came from that patch of dirt over there. If there was ever anything to convince you to grow your own vegetables, this is it. Right here. I'm going to be crying like a baby in the morning. So what am I messing over here? I only got the 2 more chips, and then you don't have to watch me do this anymore. Oh. She had this spoon in here to get the salsa. And then when she walked away, I got this spoon to get the salsa. Because, yeah. And I apologize again. I really did think that the camera was off because the screen I was looking at, the camera was off. So, yeah. Sorry about that. We ate stew the other day that was all off this property too. Even the meat was off this property. We have been at least once a week eating a meal that we grew. The whole meal. Breakfast tomorrow will be what we grew. Anyway, what do we want to talk about?
West Wind. I found that book we talked to. If that's in, then I'll be able to.
Okay. Think sure. The ooh. I didn't get many. I only got like half of a 5-gallon bucket full. I'm big in it. They come here, bud. I'll sell them to you. This isn't the biggest one. This is the second biggest one. Allow me to introduce you to my sweet potato. This is not just any sweet potato. This is the sweet potato that was grown in my little patch of dirt. And it smells like dirt. I'm so eating this week. I'm going to eat like all of them. I'm going to eat these. I'm going to bake them. I'm going to eat them with butter and yeah.
You see the size of his little sweet potato.
Little sweet potato. Squish.
My squash is bigger.
Yep. And that's not even the biggest one we made this year either.
No.
My finger hurts. Your squash makes my potato look small. Finger hurts, guys. I don't know. It's starting to wipe me out, though. My brain's going mushy on me. I have to take a minute, girl.
They're both just laying down now.
That's because they're tardy. Yeah. Oh, we should have checked this squash today because all of them I wanted to give them the few more hours. It's not, it ain't frozen yet. We can go out there and get them here after we get off of here. Hey, Sweet Pea, will you bring me the Benadryl, please? Well, it's not. Would you bring me this Benadryl, please?
I pulled it out for you.
Well, I'm not going to take a full dose. I'm just going to take a half of one, see if it's enough. I was really proud of these potatoes, people. Last year was a complete bust on them. Thank you.
Y'all devoured that hot sauce.
The hot sauce was good. I hate taking pills. Be like a law against having to take pills. Who brought up the greenhouse? I'm gonna stab him. It was Walter did it. All the stuff out there to build her greenhouse, but it's not together yet. And whenever she says, "I want a greenhouse," that's a polite way of saying my husband still hasn't put my greenhouse together. So, yeah, thanks for that. So I give her volunteering. Hold on. There's technical difficulties. Oh, giant fly coming in. It's headed straight for the camera. Oh, I'm going to try to swat it. Oh, I swatted the fly. Oh, dang. I got to find the right button now again. Did anybody have a topic y'all wanted me to talk about? Anything important, specific, fascinating, interesting? How important it is, whether you need it or not, to have, I don't know, something like Benadryl or some other kind of antihistamine around. Believe it or not, that what's that little thing? Looks like a wafer. You put it on your tongue and it dissolves. What's that one? Claritin or whatever. Claritin works too. No, it's not a giant fly. That's that's funny. I like that, Joe. That's funny. Uh, you talking to me, Wesley? I'm in the Texas growing zone. After this freeze goes away, we can the little cold snap that's coming. We've actually got enough time to get spinach and stuff in the ground and get it up. And then as long as we had the what's that? Stuff you put over it so the snow don't get on it. Whatever. How's the soil down there, Grouchy? Is it oh, FYI, everybody, there's a meet and greet tomorrow at 2 at the IHOP. You have to buy your own pancakes at Midland. But how is the soil down there? I've never, baby sister lives down there, but she don't garden. She don't do that kind of stuff. I don't even think she watered her grass. See, you should be able to do onions. I don't have enough alkaline in or lime. I have enough loam in the soil to satisfy my onion. We're zone 7.
You're pretty smart.
You're pretty smart. I didn't know I knew that, did you?
What is chipper asking? Pasta, al dente, or overcooked? What's the preference?
What? LSD in the apocalypse. Discuss. Well, don't do LSD in the apocalypse because you won't know whether it's really happening or not. Yeah, watermelon and cantaloupe. It freaks me out how many watermelons are grown down there, dude. You would never, I find it insanely hard to believe that watermelons are grown down there. I really do. And they're good watermelons. They're flipping delicious. Yes, I'm coming. Where me and the missus will both be there tomorrow. Oh, you're not going?
Yes.
Oh, you said he
He
is.
didn't ask if I was.
Oh. And it's weird because if I go like a mile, hold on, let me get that direction straight. If I go a mile west, I can grow onions or watermelons or corn or whatever the heck I want to. But over here in this freaking dark brown clay stuff, you grow cotton. You can grow maize and hay. What? Okay. That'll work.
Buffalo gourd is actually a good thing to have around.
Buffalo gourds?
Yes, that's what those are.
All those are buffalo gourds?
Yeah.
You can eat them. They're just nasty.
You can make soap out of them. You can make. There's lots of stuff you can do with buffalo gourd.
Yeah, they're the little fibers in them are like the spaghetti squash or whatever. You just have to cook them until if you cook them, the soap turns into proteins, and you can eat it, and the taste goes away. It's just they got them wild watermelons that grow over there around Brownfield or whatever. I thought about bringing them over here and getting them started because after you get them started, they just go crazy. But they're green meat melons. I don't know what they taste like or anything. Cows eat them.
David just got here.
David, hey David. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, pig food is. What is pig food?
I don't know. Explain pig's weed. We got what we call pig potatoes around here. I probably know what it is. I just call it something different. Pig potatoes are, I mean, the above ground problem, they don't really do much. They'll make little beans and stuff and spread around, but you got to dig like 2.5 foot to get to the stinking potatoes. Amaranth. Oh, careless weed? Yeah, those are a pain in the butt.
Hmm. 26 grams of protein in a cup if you can get enough of the amaranth grain.
Oh, the careless weed, the seeds or whatever.
Yeah.
See, people don't realize that careless weed's actually an imported plant. It was brought over here from Europe.
But what I'm saying is, in a cup of the seeds, there's 26 grams of protein.
Yeah, it's
126 grams of carbs.
it was poor man's wheat.
Yeah.
They grew it, and when the seeds got mature or whatever, they would harvest them and stuff.
A lot of magnesium, a lot of iron, fair amount of calcium.
And I believe you could eat the leaves like greens. You just had to blanch them You had to boil them twice to get rid of the bitter. You boil them twice, and then you had the greens from the leaves or whatever. But the seeds were what they were mostly after. They would grow, literally grow everywhere. And, you know, after you got what you wanted off of them, then, you know, you can feed them to your animals. They're actually, the careless weeds were brought over here. They were peasant food in Europe, and the peasants brought them with them. It's just like the railroad weeds or the iron weeds or the tumbleweeds. You can eat both ironweed, the young ironweeds, and the young tumbleweeds. The young tumbleweeds are flipping delicious. Whenever I find a patch of the little ones that are, let me turn the camera back on because I'm gonna start talking with my hands. Hold on. And I've got a video out there. You can see me actually eating tumbleweeds. I cooked some and ate them. From the time they're about yay tall, a couple inches tall, to the time they're 6 or 8 inches tall, when they're still soft. As long as they're still, you can eat them when they start getting the points on the end that are whatever. It's just you have to worry about the little thorny ends or whatever. You have to chew them super good. But when they're all the way up to about 4 inches tall, you can literally pull them up out of the ground and just eat them like lettuce, and they taste exactly like fresh spinach. They're delicious. And the same thing when they get up and they're ready to shed their seeds. You can catch the seeds. And iron weeds, same thing. What we call iron weeds or whatever, they're real tall, bushy plants or whatever. After they flower and make the seed, they make a kernel about the size of quinoa. And they're high in protein, carbohydrates, and they're a weed. They grow everywhere. The goats out there are going crazy on them right now because they got enough rain and stuff towards the end. They all flowered and they all have seeds on them. The goats are out there eating those things. They're just eating. Start at the end of one of the weeds and they eat down to the limb. They're eating all the seeds they can get their hands on. The chickens love them. They're a lot of the stuff that they don't have a commercial value because anybody can grow them and anybody can harvest them and stuff like that. Just because there's not a commercial value in them doesn't mean there's not value for you and me. You know. I think what's the other one? Everybody's always talking about it. Now I can't think the name of it. It grows all over the place. It's got medicinal value and stuff like that. Supposedly, lamb's quarter. Is that it? Lamb's quarter.
A lamb's quarter is similar to the amaranth plant.
And anyway, they weren't native to the U.S. or to North America. They were brought in. It's like these aren't a European thing.
Can you eat all cactus?
Not all cactus. Some cactus will kill you dead in a hammer. So it's just like mushrooms. You know, there's not as many poisonous cactus out there, but there's some cactus out there that the juice, the sap in them, will burn the hide right off of you. And So yeah, be careful. Be careful on that one with the cactus and stuff. And the whole thing where you see people getting the juice out of cactus and surviving, you know, be really careful with that. There's only a few cactuses out there that produce enough liquid like that you can hydrate off of it. And even then you have to, then I'm not a professional on this, you have to have some way of getting the moisture out of the cactus. And one cactus the size of a basketball is only going to get you enough water for maybe half a bottle of water or something. It's not like, oh, look, a watermelon. You'd be, if you find a watermelon out in the desert and you eat the watermelon, you're golden. But a cactus and a watermelon are not the same. They're not the same. So yeah, be careful with some of the wives' tales you've learned. Like, there's a lot of stuff out there that you can eat that people just won't eat.
What is the flat cactus that we have?
The prickly pear?
Is that what it is, prickly pear?
The stuff that grows all over the place? Yeah,
the ones that is in all the Mexican food restaurants.
Yeah, prickly pear is good stuff. I love prickly pear cactus. Tastes good. And almost all of the fruits off the cactus is edible. And you'll have people tell you that you can't eat the seeds out of the cactus. Your body cannot digest the seeds. That does not mean it will not pass the seeds. Later, Chipper, if you eat the seeds, they're going to go all the way through you, and wherever you poop, there's going to be cactus grow.
In my toilet, there's going to be cactus grow?
Yes, in your toilet, there cactus will grow. If you grind up the cactus berries or whatever and crack the seeds, there's actually food value in the kernels. They're not going to kill you. They're not poisonous. Hackberries. The trees are full, well, except for where the chickens are eating them. The trees are full of dried hackberries right now around the house. I was picking them off and eating them day before yesterday. Flipping good. It's like, you know what a date tastes like? Or a prune, maybe. Kind of like a date or a prune or something. Is what they taste like. But the downside to it is they got the seed in there, but the seed wall is about 32nd of an inch thick. So the kernel's about the size of an airsoft BB. But if you'll go ahead and bite it and crunch it up, inside that airsoft BB size thing is a kernel about the size of an okra seed or a BB, regular metal BB or whatever, a little smaller than a BB. That's got oils and proteins and stuff in it. You're having to eat the shell and everything, but don't sweat it because your body can get the sugars and the proteins and it'll separate all that out for you. Okay. Don't swallow the little kernels whole because your body's not going to be able to digest the shell. But if you'll crunch them and make pemmican or whatever out of them, crunch them up and then add them with something else. Mesquite beans, same thing. There's actually food value in the little hard seeds that are in the beans or whatever, but You cannot chew you can't bite those with your teeth. I would not recommend it. You can break them in a grinder though. And if you get them broke up, then you cook them and your body can get the proteins and stuff out of the seeds that way. There's food value in the bean, whether you eat the seeds or just spit them out, because there's sugars and stuff in the bean hull. That's how the mesquite gets, that's how it spreads its seeds. It makes the seeds, the beans, and then the animals actually eat the mesquite beans right up off the ground because they're flipping good. Hogs will get fat, and I'm talking look like they're corn fed. A wild hog that's been eating mesquite beans is the best wild hog meat there is. Personal opinion. Okay. I've eaten them out of places where they were eating fruit. I've eaten them from places where they were eating cotton seeds and hay and stuff like that. And I've eaten them from places where one of their primary sources of food was mesquite beans. The mesquite bean hogs were fatter and juicier. The end. They just had more. They were more like corn-fed pork than the others. So there's that. Now, I'm not an expert on wild foods and edible plants and stuff like that. I've just done a lot of research now. If I find out something's edible, I go find the plant and I eat it to see if, just because if it's edible. Edible just means that you can eat it and it doesn't kill you. Okay? That's all edible means. Just because something is edible doesn't mean it has a food value. Ironweeds and the tumbleweeds and the careless weeds have food value. Plain and simple. Johnson grass. You can take Johnson grass and you can't let it wilt. You can take Johnson grass, break it off at the ground, peel the leaves off, and eat the first half an inch to an inch of the stalk, and it's not going to hurt you. Now, if you let it wilt before you eat it, it'll hurt you. So you have to harvest it, eat it, harvest it, eat it, harvest it, eat it. The seeds on the top of Johnson grass, which is a total pain in the butt. It's something else that was brought over here from Europe. Okay. The seeds on the top of Johnson grass, you know what it is? It's Milo.
Kudzu.
I don't know what to do with kudzu.
Watch it grow all over the interstate.
There's that. Is kudzu edible? I don't know. Can you eat kudzu? I mean, if it's something that you can eat, like make greens or whatever out of, y'all people ain't got to worry about starving to death. And there's that. And y'all go ahead and start busting me up in the comment section about it. I'm all smoked a cigarette. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to hang on there, guys, because my chest started hurting real bad, so I took the full Benadryl, and I'm going to be wiped out here in a few minutes. And yes. Later, Walter. And we've got that wild lettuce growing around here too, but it's supposed to be like drugs or something, so I don't know if I'll ever play with it. Yeah. And Peter, I've been they I've been dealing with the whole bee sting, wasp sting, scorpion sting stuff for a while. I appreciate your concern though. I really.
Probably gonna all be dead because it's gonna freeze.
What's that? The Johnson grass?
No, Grouchy said the wild lettuce. Could you bring wild lettuce? But I don't know because it's freezing.
I don't know. I see it growing around in bar ditches and stuff. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a weed. I killed it all off my property. I don't have any on my property anymore. All right, C103. We'll see you later. It's just that big, those weeds you see growing in the bar ditch that they're sticking up a foot taller than everything else, and it looks like lettuce, looks like leaf lettuce growing up out of the bar ditch. There it is. But you don't just go eating it. That stuff's like supposedly the same as opium or something. Only it's not an opiate, but it has the same pain, whatever, or something or other. I don't know. But it's just like the ephedrine plant that grows all over the place out here. Yeah. But the ephedrine plant that grows all over the place around here, that stuff, I mean, you need a mouthful of the leaves off of it and be really, really, really awake, but it's not exactly good for you. Not around here, I don't think. What are you and David talking about? Oh, skunk cabbage. I don't know what skunk cabbage is. Well, anything. There's some of the stuff there. I don't know what wild woodweed is either. Y'all gonna have to deal with it. My brain's shutting down. The pits of the choke cherry is, David, just FYI. So don't eat any of the pit.
The only thing I find about wild woodweed is it's salt. Literally.
Hey, Sergeant Smith. And you know what? Now I'm wondering if that stuff I'm thinking is wild lettuce growing on the hill over there by the dairy. I'm wondering if that's tobacco. It looks more like tobacco than the lettuce. I have to go check now. Now you're going to give me a ticket for being on the interstate. See, I need to research all this stuff. We found us some devil claws I need to do a video on that. Let y'all see where the goodie is in a devil's claw. Y'all know what a devil's claw is, right? Good night, Sasquatch. Hey, it was good to see you. Did you have a good week, by the way? I mean, my phone number's the same. Let me give y'all a preview. I need to get up and move a minute anyway. I need some coffee. I may need to go out there and see if I can find a couple more pods. This one's gotten it didn't retain the green color, shall we say. Devil's Claw is named for its open seed pod. It has a very distinct look to it. These things like to grow where hay and grazer and stuff like that would be. And the way the seeds are spread is when a grazing animal steps into it, it'll actually latch on to their leg, and then eventually it'll work itself apart and it'll break open, and down inside this part are the seeds. And when it pulls apart and breaks open, falls to the wayside, the plant will grow from the pod, or the new plants will grow from the pod, and then it spreads like that. These were actually cultivated by Native Americans, and I'm ruining my video by doing all this. Basically, this is devil, so I'm gonna shut myself up. This is devil's claw, and the seeds are delicious. But this is it. It's like really cool. You can like use it, hang it in your beard and stuff. It's like it can be your friend. Like put it on your shoulder. You know, just sit there. Like, this is a green pod. This one was too old, but if you can find the plant, which I have pictures of the plant, if you can find the plant and catch these when they're young, you can cook these like okra. This part up here is going to be woody already, so you would cut it off, throw it away, and then just dice this up and cook this like okra. When you first cut into it, it is going to smell of rotting flesh. Don't sweat it. That goes away when you cook it. Okay. These pollinate via flies. They don't use bees. Bees do not pollinate this animal or this plant. Flies do. Another nickname they have is stinkweed. You can smell one of these. The flower is equal in beauty to an orchid, but it smells like a 2-day dead possum. And the flies come in to try to find the dead animal. They can't find it. They fly to the next flower looking for the dead animal. Pollination occurs, and you wind up with seeds that will germinate. Come on, get off me. But the seeds taste just like Brazil nuts. They're delicious. Not to mention they're like really cool for like arts and crafts stuff. You can paint them just right and they'll be like little wildebeest skulls. I'm reaching now. I don't know what they're for. We used to just like hang them on people at the back. You walk up and touch the back of somebody's shirt and they'll open and they'll grab their shirt. And they're like, ah, and the people think there's a bug on them. We were country kids. We didn't have none of it.
It's a minigun.
Well, I didn't catch any pictures of the flower. I'll Google them, and I'm gonna do a video on it because the plant's absolutely fascinating. Don't try to eat the leaves or anything, because like if you break the stems or the leaves or whatever, you talk about stink. But if you think about it, you know, you got an animal walking through and it kicks the plant, steps on the plant, damages the leaf, the odor gets stronger. And so the flies that are on the animal, hanging out on the animal for whatever reason, go back to the plant to see what's going on and pollinate it. It's pretty flippin' ingenious the way it gets pollinated. And it's assuming honeybees really are on their way out. Non-honeybee pollinated food sources could be really, really important to your future. I'm gonna get off quick. What are y'all talking about, West Wind? What don't grow in U.S. soil? Soil. We're good, Sergeant Smith. Hope you're doing all right. There's all kinds of plants out there that do all kinds of stuff.
Oh, devil's claw. I'm looking at the research and prescription that recommend.
Supposedly it doesn't grow in U.S. soil.
Come look in my backyard.
Dude, come on. I'll show you plenty of it. I fought that stuff my whole life. When you got in trouble, when I was a kid, if you're you did something that really pissed your parents off, they would call around to one of the farmers and they would pay the farmer to make you go to work for them. You didn't realize that your parent was paying the bill. You don't find out this stuff until you're grown. Your parent was actually paying you or paying the farmer to pay you to go out, and your job was to walk through the field and cut the devil's claw out of the cotton fields and throw it on a trailer. That was you did it for hours. You reeked so bad when you got home. Devil's claw grows like a weed around here. The plant or the seeds? I have been fine. How have you been? Yeah, cat claw. What did cat claw was good for? It was good for all kinds of stuff, like making you bleed and you can build a fence out of it. Nothing will walk through that crap. Well, except goats, they just eat their way through it. Hog's back. All right, folks.
Prescription recommendation, 60 milligrams of extract. I would make it. That's what Wes went through. But yeah, I was reading all those plant things in that one book or whatever. The yucca, the gourd plant, the cat claw, all of them are just out there.
Just out there, and they're all good for something.
Yeah.
It's like even the yucca root that you can use for soap. If you go ahead and dig down and chop it up and then roast it, the soap breaks down into sugars, and then you can eat it, and it doesn't taste terrible, supposedly. I don't know. Good deal, Survivor. Huh. I'm not so much worried about the medicinal benefits of plants as I am the fact that whether or not if I eat a handful of them, I've got enough calories to go ahead and make it to the next handful of them. But plants do matter. All right, everybody. It's been a little while, hour and a half or so. My wasp sting has gotten the better of me. Took a full dose of the Benadryl and stuff. So I'm fixing to go completely brain dead if I haven't already. And I'll be asleep 20 minutes after I get off of here. So. Anybody wants to come help me eradicate wasps, you're more than welcome. I thought I'd killed all the wasp nests. I don't know where they all came from. God, my finger hurts.
Good night. Go to bed, whiny.
Anyway, love y'all. God bless y'all. Y'all stay alive. Don't die and all that. We'll see you tomorrow. Gotcha. Anyway, love ya.